What's up, everybody? It's Chase with Energy to Conquer. Today is day 16 on my experimental journey to more energy, clarity, and just mental focus. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow, share. You can go visit us on the website. Website is energytoconquer.com. Today is day 16. And if you guys haven't been following along so far up to this point, I've mainly been doing just focusing on the physical side of increasing my energy. So basically, the more demand you put on your body for energy, the more it's going to try to meet that demand. So a big portion of the first 16 days has been focused on my, fitness program, doing some strength training with some HIIT sessions in the middle of it to just get my cardio and get my strength training up, and just kind of get overall more fit, but also exert more energy so that I can eventually my body be producing more energy. And definitely since I've started that program, my energies went up. Like, I can tell just the difference night and day from when I started. And today I just want to talk about the morning rituals that create energy and productivity in your day. And the reason I'm talking about this today is yesterday was a rough day. Just had a lot going on in business and just completely fell out of control. But part of the reason for that was, the night before, so it was Sunday night, I went to bed, I don't know, probably about 9:30, and I slept for about an hour, but then I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. So, ended up being up for several hours and actually ended up oversleeping, and I missed my time that I normally get up. I overslept, and so everything was just rush, and I didn't get to do some of the stuff, my morning rituals that I normally do, which really just felt like I was reacting to the whole day. So it's just more in reactive mode instead of proactive mode. And so today, one of the things I want to talk about is how you can use morning rituals to, create more control, which is going to give you more energy. If you feel like you're in control of your day, the more you feel like you're in control, the more energy you're going to have. And the less you feel like you're in control, the less energy you're going to have. And to be honest with you, the less productive you're going to be. Like, for me personally, when I feel in control, I'm way more productive than when I feel like I'm not in control. And a big part of that is approaching things from a proactive versus a reactive state. And so what I mean by that is, I start my day with rituals, most of the time. Sometimes I don't, like the other day I overslept, and sometimes I just get completely off track. So I'm not 100% perfect on this, but I know from experience that, I'm more focused, I have more energy, and I feel more in control when I control how I start my day. And what I mean by that is, just to kind of run you through, like, normally when I wake up, there's a few things I do. So I get up, and first thing, I drink 16 ounces of water. I put trace minerals in it. It's just a brand, you can look it up, but it is basically just minerals out of Salt Lake in Utah. You can look it up. But so I drink that, and that's very alkaline. So it kind of alkaline energizes you, and we can get into more of that later. It's not what this is about, but I drink the mineralized water, 16 ounces first thing. Then I do a breathing exercise that I learned from Tony Robbins. I actually created an app. I use it on my, I use that app. It's personal, like I don't have it public. I made it, I coded it, and I just have it on my phone. So I do that, which takes about 5 minutes, just deep breathing, breathe in. Basically, you breathe in, you hold it for so many seconds, then you exhale for so many seconds, and then you breathe in for so many seconds. But you're holding it for a long time, and you're exhaling for a long time. And so it basically just oxygenates your body. Because the biggest problem, and one of the biggest things with low energy, is people are shallow breathers. And especially if you're not active and you're not doing stuff, people are generally, they're shallow breathers. But oxygen is probably the most important thing you can do for your energy. And basically the way it works is, you can live I think 5 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes without oxygen. You can live, 3 days, something without water. And then with food, it's like 30 days and sometimes more. I mean, you get into spiritual fast and that kind of stuff, but you get my point, without nutrition. So not to get into a debate on that, but those are the 3 critical things, right? And that's what really dictates a lot of your energy, but it don't get a lot of credit. So, first thing I start, I hydrate, and also I add minerals, so that alkalizes it. Then I do the breathing, and then I usually drink like a cup of coffee real quick, or a half a cup. I try to limit to like 1 cup a day, maybe 1.5. I don't drink much more than that, because the more coffee I drink, the less productive I get. Personally, coffee doesn't do too well with me, but I like to have just a little bit in the morning. So drink, half a cup to a cup of coffee real quick, and then I'll do a 10-minute visualization exercise, but also do like breathing while I'm doing that. Just kind of deep breathing in and out, steady. And that's something I picked up from Andy Frisella on the 75 Hard program. It's actually part of the Live Hard program, but it's just 10-minute visualization exercise. Just kind of visualize, I guess, future, what you want in life, that kind of thing. But I guess it's a form of meditation, but it kind of gives me sense of control and direction for my day, and kind of helps me, I guess, gives me a sense of purpose of what I'm working for that day, and keeps me from getting too far in the weeds. Because if I go too far without doing that, it's almost like I forget while I'm working so hard, so I kind of lose focus. So this helps anchor me every morning, and that's the reason I do that for 10 minutes. And then I try to jump into some kind of light workout. It's usually a yoga, just stretching, kind of mobility. So usually yoga is what it is. And so that's probably about 30 minutes. I don't push it too hard. I try not to do any too strenuous, but also Pilates. I don't do a lot of that, but I like the way it makes my back feel. And what it is, my wife and I, we have a subscription to Beachbody On Demand. So there's some couple programs. I ain't really no Pilates. I don't have no specific Pilates program, but just to do the Beachbody On Demand. And if you have that, you can go search on it online on the computer, and you can pull up all the programs that have Pilates. So that's what I do. I just kind of pick ones out, and I think like 21 Day Fix and P90X. That's usually the main 2. But anyways, that's kind of what I do. Just something light that's not too strenuous. Some of those kind of get a little hard. You kind of feel the burn, but it's nothing like intense strength workout. So I try to maintain my energy throughout the day. And then I just kind of get it. And then after that, just kind of do breakfast and kind of spend time with, wife and kids. Just kind of get everybody going. I ain't really spending time, but just get everybody going, get breakfast, that kind of stuff. Get the kids off school. My wife usually heads out to work. I work from home, so, and then I usually come and I'll walk a couple laps here outside. And that's kind of like, I've learned to do this as kind of my commute. That's to break up my morning from family, and just kind of switch gears. I usually listen to something work related or something, business, maybe YouTube video, maybe something motivational, but it's just kind of my switch gears. I've kind of conditioned myself to use that to switch my gears, since I know I've listened to like Tom Hopkins, the sales guy. He talks about, if you have to, just get in your car, go to the store, buy a cup of coffee, and come back if that's what you need to do, just to switch those mental gears. And it kind of helped me a lot. So I've used this in that place, because I'm not really driving to the store to buy coffee that I'm not going to drink. But so yeah, and some days, like I've done it before, and I've kind of got off for the last few months. But what I like to do is get up, and I've experimented with different things, and I don't know, it's kind of on the fence, because it really drains me by the end of the day. But I like to get up earlier. So if I can get up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning, so probably about 3:30, 3:45 is usually about perfect. I can get up. I usually do my routines, do the breathing, do the visualization. Then I'll go do work that I can control. Usually if I've got creative work, so something I need a lot of focus and energy on, like I can do that and knock that out for about an hour, hour and a half, and then jump in and do like the workout, the light workout like I talked about. So I don't jump into emails. I don't jump into anything that's going to cause any problems, like that ain't it's going to drag me down. Like the stuff that I can focus on, that I need to get done. And I don't really put an outcome base on those time frames, so I'm not rushing, or I'm not feeling like I didn't get accomplished. I just put a time base. So I just focus on this time, So boom, I hit that time, and I feel good because I've got work done. And usually in those early mornings, that's like your maximum concentration for the day, you can usually get about 1.5 to 2, maybe 3 times more work done in the same amount of time as if you was to do that later in the day, in the afternoon or something. So I say that to say I'm really picky, I guess, or I have become over the last year or so. I've become really picky about what I do and don't do in the mornings and how much energy it's going to consume. That's the reason I'm not doing hard strength training workouts. That's the reason I'm not doing any of that. And I just kind of stick to something, just keep it simple. But I try to concentrate my energy, even the things I listen to in the morning. I used to just go all in on stuff and really listen to stuff for 45 minutes to an hour, just deep stuff, and read in the mornings. But a lot of my creative energy for the day gets zapped out in that. I lose focus, and so this helps me put my energy, I guess, prioritize my energy. In business, they have a term called capital allocation, where you allocate your capital and where it's going. So you can, this goes to marketing, this goes to this goes to this. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, that's a term that I come up with, is energy allocation based on that. So basically, you allocate your energy to where it's most productive for your day. And if you're just showing up working a 9 to 5 and there's not a whole lot of thinking or creativity, and it's just kind of you stacking widgets all day or something, it may not be as important. But when you're trying to run a business and you're trying to just manage clients, you're trying to keep things together, like, you've got all this stuff that's just out of your control, and it's never the same day to day. So it requires a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and even design work. I do some coding, so just solving the logic of that, like all that stuff is just such an energy drain. So I kind of prioritize where I need to. But I say all that to say, the morning rituals are important because you're being proactive, right? You're being proactive to your day, and you're controlling what you can control before your day gets off the rails. I'm not saying your day's not going to get off the rails, because it's going to get off the rails, and probably more days than not. But if you wake up with your days off the rail, you're just reacting all day. For instance, if you wake up late, or you get up at the last minute, hit snooze 10 times, jump in the shower, do whatever you got to do, go to work, and you rush, you get to work, rush, you're just reactive all day, and it's just like such an energy suck. Like, you feel like you're completely out of control. And I've been like that, where I've spent years of my life like that, and it's a miserable place to be. Whereas you approach it the other way, where maybe you get up an hour earlier or 2 hours earlier, and just go to bed 2 hours later. Go to bed 2 hours earlier so you can get up earlier in the mornings. But do what you got to do. But that little piece there is going to give you so much control, and it's going to give you energy, and it's going to just completely change. It's your mental mindset, and it's going to just give you mental energy, because you're not constantly stressing that you're behind and you're reacting. So it gives you a sense of control of your day. And that's something I picked up from Ed Mylett. I think if you go back, I think maybe it's podcast number 1 of the Ed Mylett show. He talks about it. He mentions a book by Craig Ballantyne. It's called The Perfect Day Formula. The book is good. It's got a lot of good information in it. It's worth getting, but it's really an upsell for his program, so just be aware of that. But there's plenty of information in the book that's kind of going to get you thinking in this direction, if something you're interested in. There is another book called Make Your Bed by he's a U.S. Navy Admiral, William McRaven, I think is his name. I think he's a Navy SEAL. But if you look up that book, like, that's a really good book. There's a video, he did a commencement speech for, I guess, graduation. I don't know what it was, but I'll look that up and I'll find it, and I'll try to link that in this video. But it's called Make Your Bed. But if you get the book, it's a really short book. I read it to my kids as bedtime, but it's like really short. So it just kind of sets the stories that build up to the full speech. Then the full speech is written out in the book, or you can just go watch the speech. But if you want to dig deeper into it, check out the book. It's worth your time to put into it. There's some really great concepts in there, but his concept is to make your bed every day. And basically what you're doing is you're getting wins, and you're stacking wins before your day starts. So you're getting that sense of accomplishment, and that mental, I guess, sense of accomplishment, which is going to energize you when you get these wins in the mornings versus rush. And so when you can do that, you're setting yourself up to win. And you know, you can start out with just one or two, just simple stuff, and just do it in the morning, give you that little sense of accomplishment. Even that book talks about just making your bed. So if nothing else, like before you, as soon as you get out of the bed in the mornings, if you know, if your wife or whoever's not asleep in the bed, you can make the bed, and you've accomplished something as soon as you got out of the bed. And that's what that book or that speech talks about, amongst a lot of other things. But that's the overall concept of make your bed. But it's the same thing with this, and what I'm saying is create those rituals so that you get those sense of accomplishment. And then, you know, you can start out with just a few if it's completely out of the norm for you. But the more you can stack in the mornings, and usually that's going to take time to stack those. Like, I didn't start doing this stuff overnight. It was a little bit, this works, and just add them up. And you know, sometimes I do them, sometimes I don't, but more consistently over the last year and a half I've done it. So yeah, the more you can stack, the more you can get accomplished. The more of these little things you can do. Don't exhaust yourself. Don't use all your mental energy on these things. Be wise with your mental energy, and don't put yourself at a mental energy deficit before you get started on the most important stuff of the day. So use these as habits, but also use them to stack momentum for your day. So you're creating momentum before your day ever gets really started, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's all I have for today, guys. Those morning rituals are going to give you more energy. It's going to give you more confidence. It's going to give you more clarity. It's going to give you more focus. It's going to give you more of a sense of control in your life. Like, if you feel like you don't have control in your life, and you feel like your life's completely out of your control, I'm telling you, try this for 14 days, 21 days, 30 days, and just see how it feels. Because you're going to feel completely different. Even when the day gets off the rails and it's completely out of your control, by mid-morning, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, whatever it is, like, you're still going to feel completely different because of the way you started your day. And you're going to be better equipped to handle these situations because of the way you started your day. Anyways, this went way long, but that's all I have for you today. Today is day 16. This is morning. I'll start doing these in the mornings because I can a little bit more clear in my thinking. I really want to just document those exercises to get this started for the first few weeks and kind of see my struggles and kind of see what's going on. But anytime you increase your physical activity, it's going to naturally increase your energy, as long as your diet and your nutrition is somewhat on point and you're not just completely eating crap. You know, if you're not getting energy from these things over a week or so, you know, you're going to have, maybe you're doing too much. But overall, you should be increasing your energy. If you're really out of shape, it might take you a month or two to start feeling the increase in energy, just depending on where you're at on your journey, because everybody's journey is different and you got to start where you're at. But overall, like, you increase your activity over time, it's going to increase your energy. And what that time frame is going to be based on your current I guess physical health, your current, I guess, physical conditioning, probably more the correct word. So anyway, it's like 18 minutes. I went way over what I wanted to, but there's a lot of important stuff here for you guys to unpack. So I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.